ahead, preparing the next generation to take on environmental inequities in communities of color. ELOC's fight to combat climate change. Environmental justice demands that all people have access to a clean, safe, and sustainable environment without regard to race, color, or national origin. Environmental Leaders of Color is an organization whose mission is to educate and advocate when it comes to climate change and its impact. Joining us this afternoon is Dr. Diana K. Williams, president and co-founder of Environmental Leaders of Color. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon.
My pleasure.
You have taken on a hugely important task here. Tell me, why is this something that you feel like you need to get other people to pay attention to and sign on to?
I think that the dramatic effects of climate change is something that vulnerable communities need to know about. And they need to know about it because they're the ones who have longer recovery time and they have less resources to battle the effects of climate change. We all remember what happened during Hurricane Katrina, when Americans were trying to cross a bridge for safety and other Americans welcomed them with guns. And so we don't want that to happen again. We want people in our community to know what to do for climate change. We want our young people to be part of the solution to climate change. And this is why I do what I do.
Have you, when it comes to talking about these issues, environmental justice, climate change, why we should be recycling, that, I know that's a simple thing. Do you feel like the message is being heard or not heard differently in communities of color? And as you put it, vulnerable communities? And why or why not?
Well, I think that there are a lot of competition for information, correct? People have cell phones, they have Netflix, they have many things they can do. And so one of the things we did, and I think we did quite well, is that we got students for 6 weeks who were already attending or participating in summer programs. And we have them for 90 minutes a day. And there's nothing else for them to do but listen to our stories. And one of the most dramatic things about our program is that we found that when we did a post survey, we found that many of the children go home and tell their parents about what they've learned. And so we're using these children as the soldiers for education about climate change. We've had parents meet us in the supermarket who tell us that, I know who you are. My son or my daughter said they'll tell me everything they learn about climate change and all the things we have to do to prevent it. Yeah. So yes, so I think that the children are our future and are our soldiers.
And so talk to me a little bit about what you do to get the word out and what kinds of things that you're telling people that they can do to make a difference. Because I think the first thing a lot of folks think is I don't have time for that. It's too much. It's not, I don't have time to do that. So 2 questions. How are you getting your word out? One is I know you're using the children, you're teaching them and they go home and tell their parents, much like I think we've seen in the past with cigarettes and the need to wear seatbelts. You teach the kid, they're going to make sure the parents are doing what they're supposed to do. What kinds of things are you able to do to get the word out?
So we use our children. The mission of Environmental Leaders of Color is to educate communities about climate change and its impact. So right now, we are concentrating on using children. And so we use children in 2 ways. We have them get the word out, but also we're trying to get them into educational programs where they can become energy engineers and environmentalists. And we feel very positive that the solution to climate change can come from anyone and everyone. And we believe that students from vulnerable communities can contribute much to the whole climate change experience and change the outcome.
And what is one simple thing or some things that we can all do at home to start that process? If it's something that we've not really been engaged in, what is something? Because sometimes people just don't know where to start.
Okay, I will tell you one thing that will have a profound effect, and that is reducing the use of plastics. Did you know that the plastic bottle you use today and you dispose of today will take 1,000 years to decompose? 1,000 years. That is a very long time. And why I talk about plastics is because the petroleum industry makes plastics. The plastics come from petroleum. And as more people use less fossil fuels to heat their home or to run their cars, the petroleum industry is trying to find another use for plastics. So plastics is going to consume us. So I tell people, try to find a different thing to use than plastics. If you can reduce the use of, recycle your plastic, take it to the Salvation Army. Someone might be able to use that plastic bag or that plastic bowl or that plastic storage container. You know, I was looking in my closet the other day and I realized that the foot lockers we used to use that were metal are no longer metal, they're plastics. Everything is going back towards plastic.
And it's harmful.
And it is very harmful.
Can we recycle our way out of this mess? It's going to take more than that, won't it?
Well, can we recycle our way out of plastics?
Out of any of it, really. I mean, it's going to take a little bit more than just recycling. And I mean, we got to really change our mindset and our habits.
Well, one of the ways that we can change our habits, of course, is activism. We can appeal to our elected officials to support programs where we don't use harmful chemicals in to contaminate our waterways. That we have corporations being mindful citizens of what's going on in our world. Can we change anything? You know, no one can predict the future. I have a lot of confidence in the human race. I really believe that if we put our minds together, our efforts together, and our talents together, we can make a difference. And for the sake of our children, I don't want to give up. This is their future. We have to be involved in solution-based thinking and solution-based activities for their sake.
So if folks want to find out more about the work that environmental leaders of color that you do, ELOC.earth, correct?
That is correct.
All right.
Correct.
Thank you so much for talking with us today, because it's important for all of us to listen and take some action. So we appreciate you and the work that you do, Ms. Williams. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, and it's been my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Sandra Bookman, and Here and Now